Hello everyone, welcome to Creepy Nibs, where the nibs always creep and the dead never sleep. I am Count Chocula, and today we will be looking at this ink. Karas Pen Company Wolf Gray. This is the old bottle. There is a new label design, FYI. It's cool. It's got like a wolf with sunglasses on it. He's like, ah, woo, I'm cool. So, that's that. Here's the coloring swatch. Gonna have to do some color correction in post. But yeah, this is a gray. It's fairly, they say it leans on the warm side, but I'm gonna say it leans more towards the neutral cool side. Which is not a bad thing. I'm not put off by that. It's a very nice gray. I like it. It's passable as black, honestly. You'll see that in some of the paper tests. So here are comparisons. Here's Kobe, I believe it's number 59. Hirano Gion? I don't know how to pronounce that. Romance Gray, that's what it's called. But they're rather similar. This one has a little bit more blue in it than this, I believe. Maybe zooming would be good? Maybe not. Okay. Doot. Here is Diatramentus Scented Frankincense, which has, it's like a lighter version of the Wolf Gray. So there's those. Chromatography. I just like saying chromatography like that. Sorry if it's offensive. The words, I can, whatever. Here's the chromatography. This is the way you are supposed to do it, where you like write the line of ink and instantly dunk it in the water, and you can see that dot stays fairly there. It goes up into a gray, and then there's this yellow. Mysterious yellow just floating around in the middle there. Is that focused? And then there's this, like, purple, blue, navy kind of color up at the top. Let it dry. Same thing, except that dot got darker, and there's less of the yellow up here, and it's more, like, faded around throughout. And here's the one with 100% pure acetone, and that is neat. That's so cool. That's so cool. It looks like it's fire. So that's neat. Some virgin lit the black flame candle, apparently. So there we go. That's interesting stuff. I hope you found that helpful in some way for at least some kind of entertainment value. Here is the little watercolor paper swatch I did with the bleach test. Turned it like inside of a pumpkin orange kind of color. And the water tests on the paper tests were done about maybe half an hour after it was written, and this was about 12 hours after it was written. So there's quite a bit of water resistance here. It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant, and that might be useful. Pens used for the paper tests. My two Twisby Ecos yet again. I like these for doing these tests because the extra fine is like moderate to dry, and the broad is wet and broad. So that helps a lot with trying to figure out where an ink will go on a certain kind of paper. Here we go. Let's just get right to it. Oh no, I dropped something. Okay, I think it's fine. It's not important. Clairefontaine, 90 grams per square meter. Oh. Focus. Thank you. And it looks like black. These paper tests were done with freshly inked pens, so that might have something to do with it, because on the last test I did, it looks more gray, like it's, I guess, supposed to. Yeah, this is darker than some of the black inks I've seen. That's interesting. I didn't have any performance issues at all whatsoever. Flowed out of the pen just fine, in that extra fine and in the broad, especially in the broad. It was really smooth. I liked writing with this ink. Dry times 9 seconds in the extra fine, 33 in the broad, but that's quite a line of ink, and you could get that wonderful shading there. That you get shading, you're not as much in the cursive. You get some like that. What's that called? The entrance stroke to the B, the lighter, that cross of the T. But yeah, this is really nice. When it shades beautifully, and I love it. Water test did Water test did very well, actually. That would be very easy to recover. It dyed the page a little bit, but it turned it this kind of green color that I don't know if I'm going to get to be able to show up. Greenish gray. And on the back, there is no bleed, no feathering, no spread. Tiny bit of echo, but only against the white background, and it's not that bad. And I'm not going to be able to get this to show. Oh, wait. Yes, I am. What the shit? Okay, cool. So there's this tiny bit of like a gold sheen in the wettest parts. It's like a little halo. All right. Fabriano Echo Qua. Oh, no. I did drop something important. Where's the Rhodia? Fuck. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. It was right there the whole time. Anyway. My life has been interesting lately, so apologies my brain isn't exactly in order. But it looks pretty good on this paper, too. It's starting to look a lot more gray in the extra fine. Am I focused properly? No. There we go. Okay, shading in the printing again. That's really nice. That's really nice. I think the color of this ink is suited to the texture of this paper. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But yeah, I really like it. This ink is cool, and I love wolves. Baby wolves are like my favorite thing ever. So, there we go. 18 seconds in the broad and 7 in the extra fine, which isn't too bad. The shading in that swatch is marvelous. None of that sheen, though. Maybe like the vaguest hint of it right in there. But otherwise, nothing really. Water test did really well. Again, no complaints there. But it left this like yellowish green haze behind it in its wake, I guess. So yeah, that's good. No bleeding. It didn't feather at all. There's a little bit of echo, but this is a pretty dark ink, so I guess that's kind of to be expected. Rhodia, 80 grams per square meter. Let's turn autofocus back on and see if it helps me out at all. Yeah, again, it's similar performance to the rest. It's nice and dark. It's got really nice shading in certain parts, like name and that. And then that printing, I did that printing pretty fast, just because not everybody writes in cursive all the time. So I figured I'd show my whole audience what they can do with this. 6 seconds in the extra fine, 17 in the broad. Really good, especially compared to the Clairefontaine that took 33. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I guess this is more of a normal dry time. And you don't get any of that sheen, unfortunately, but shading is pretty nice. Water test did pretty good yet again. Definitely water resistant. Just an FYI, this ink is manufactured by Papier Plume. Just an FYI. Focus. Oh my god, this is awful already. Shading! Look at that shading. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. Yes. If they had marketed this as a black ink, I would hate it. But since it's marketed as a gray, I love it. 9 seconds in the extra fine, pretty damn good. 23 in the broad, also pretty good. This is Tomoe River paper, and you could see where I was holding the paper, like with my thumb to write. Yeah, got my nasty finger oils on it. But that sheen, you can see it there. Uh-huh. This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this. Water test, not as good as it did on the other papers, but that's to be expected. It's a 68 gram Tomoe River. And no bleeding, no feathering, no spreading, a little bit of echo, but it's 68 gram Tomoe River, that's to be expected. 52 gram Tomoe River in white. Look at that, even more shading. Let's see. It's definitely bringing out more of the gray than it was on the other papers. 9 seconds in the extra fine, 15 in the broad, 15 seconds to dry on Tomoe River paper. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't exactly. And that shading, that sheen, that, oh my god, this is a really pretty ink. I definitely recommend buying yourself a bottle. Water test didn't do as well as it did on the other papers, especially in that extra fine. It didn't do too good. But it's not hard to read. It's still very clear, very there. No bleed, no feather, no spread, certain echo, and a little bit of sheen. HP Premium LaserJet, 32 pound. Boom. I don't know if I want to keep testing this paper, but I know it's commonly recommended to fountain pen users who don't want to spend a shit ton of money on paper. So I might continue testing it. Anyway, if you give me your blessing, I'll stop testing it because I hate writing on this paper. The shading is meh. It's nothing that good, but it's still there, especially in the printing. So that's nice. 4 seconds in the extra fine, 15 seconds in the broad. Swatch is meh. Water test is fantastic, though. Look at that. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. You could definitely recover that, no problem. Look at that extra fine. It looks like it just kind of blurred a little bit. No bleeding. That's not bleed. That is something wrong that I did. No echo. Not really, anyway. That's not echo. You can just kind of see it on the other side. No sheen, no spread, none of that. Well, maybe there's spread. A little bit. You get a little bit on this paper if you compare it next to Tomoe River. Blah, 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 blah. Words, I can speak them. But it's not much. It's not that bad. Oh, here we go. Boom. Ah! This looks horrific, and I fucking hate it. God, look at all that feathering, especially in the broad, which is kind of cheating. This is garbage 20-pound coffee paper, and I'm writing with a really broad and really wet nib, so I guess that's to be expected, but look at that extra fine. That is just brutal, and you could see, like, blah, God, this looks awful. I hate it. I hate it. It's terrible, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Look, do you see it? Do you feel the hatred? I feel the hatred right now because this looks fucking awful. I don't want to keep looking at it, but I have to. 2 seconds in the extra fine, 4 seconds in the broad. That swatch is just disgusting. This is disgusting. Maybe if you like your inks to look woolly, you'll love this ink on this paper, but I hated it. I hated it. Water test was horrific, turned into a giant scary monster that I do not want to meet in the woods. And then, yeah, no, you can see that there. Bleed! Lots of bleed. Lots of bleed all over the place. This bled before I even put the water down. You get dots of bleed in the extra fine. You get bleed everywhere in the broad. You can see there. Got bleed and printing in the extra fine, so I would not recommend this ink, at least paper this bad. You could probably find something a step above this, and you will have better results. Staples filler paper. Boom. Shading has returned. Looks really nice. Like, look at Wormwood. It starts off like light and shady, and then ends like deep and dark. Yes. This was nice on this paper. I liked it. 8 seconds in the extra fine and 28 in the broad. So that was something else. You get some more of that sheen in the swatch there. That's really nice. I like that. Water test did really well. Yeah, certain water resistance as advertised. Extra fine and broad looks pretty alright. Echo is quite a bit. Very near bleed in the broad. Let's see. Yeah. No actual bleed, though. Nothing actually came to the other side. There's just intense echo everywhere, but this paper is super thin. Like, yeah, that was, I don't know what the point of that was. Maramon Nemosini 80 gram per square meter paper. Shading is pretty good, but you can see, like I was telling you earlier, where's the Clairefontaine? Okay. So you can see it looks a lot darker on the Clairefontaine than it does on the Maruman. Focus, please. Thank you. Bam. So it might have something to do with the feed being like super full of ink because I just filled the pens. So sorry if that is misleading in any capacity. But it looks a lot more gray it's supposed to be on this paper, and you get fantastic shading in that broad nib. Oh my god. This is a really nice ink. The shading in the printing and the broad, oh my god. That's amazing. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love it so much. 11 seconds in the extra fine, which is kind of a lot, at least compared to some of the others we've seen, and 22 seconds in the broad. That shading. Oh my god. Yes. Jute. Yeah, I didn't have any hard starts. I generally prefer my grays lighter, but looking at this for as long as I have been, this is really, really nice. I like that. Water resistance is great. Here's where some of the water escapes the test. And you get some more of that sheen over there in that super wet part. You don't get any sheen in the writing. None that I've seen. You'd have to put it on, like, maybe with a dip pen. Oh, maybe there's a hint of it in that scrubby there, but I'm not going to get it to show up because I can barely see it with my eyes. Water tested relatively well, especially in that extra fine. I like that. It's pretty nice. No bleeding, no feathering, no spread. Mild echo and a little bit of sheen in that swatch, but I won't really... I don't know if I should count that. I probably shouldn't. What else do I want to say about this? I don't think there is anything else. This is a fun color. I like this. I'm glad I bought it. Karas Pen Company Wolf Gray. I've never tried their pens, and this is the only one of their inks I've tried. They have two. There's Wolf Gray and Canterbury Blue, and yeah, this is the only one I've tried. But I like it. I recommend it. I believe this is a 30 milliliter bottle for like $10. Why not? Thumbs up. Boom. Here we go. Have fun. Other things. I had fun. I hope you had that fun. This was fun.